Everyone Games is uniting disabled gamers, celebrities, veterans, and anyone that wants to play for a 2-day livestream event of tabletop and video games to show that everyone games. The Knights of the Braille are joined by a community of volunteers to play alongside Jennifer Kretschmer, T1J, Radders, Blind Temple, Honey and Dice, EJ from Non-Compete, Drunken Bard, History Wizard, Vadim, Runaway Robot, and Luke Gygax, and many, many more celebrities. So you can donate now for your chance to win and play with one of these incredible celebrities and raise money for Everyone Can and StackUp.org, two incredible charities raising money for disabled kids and veteran gamers. Go to justgiving.com/everyone-games. That's justgiving.com/everyone-games. Join us on the 30th of September and the 1st of October to game after game of celebrity games.
Now recording.
The following podcast may have adult humor,
swear words,
innuendos of a adult nature.
making fun of me.
That's a given. Everybody looks forward to that. But just know that you have been warned. Hey everybody, this is Richard minus Jesse with the Blind Knights, and with me I have the lovely, can I say lovely? Are you lovely? I don't really know.
I try to be.
You try to be okay. We'll go with mostly. Okay, we'll go with we have mostly blind gamer with us here. Gonna talk about Everyone Games, and unfortunately, I haven't been as active as I wanted to be with that this year. But you ever notice how life seems to get in the way sometimes?
Oh man, tell me about it.
I'm telling you. But anyway, we're gonna have him tell us about Everyone Games, which is coming up September the 30th and October the 1st. So, without further ado, take it away, my dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. So yeah, I'm mostly blind gamer. I tell computers to move things, play TTRPGs and video games, and complain about accessibility on the internet. The way you know that life gets in the way, just like you said, is that I used to say a different thing there last time I was here, which means I changed jobs. So
Oh, now we can talk crap all about the other employer.
Oh yeah. Terrible people, awful. I hated everyone. This company. I hope they all. No, I don't. No, I don't. I can't say that.
Which it's funny.
It's all
about accessibility.
It's all a journey, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. We were talking about accessibility with the whole new slash command things before we started recording.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that's blind or visually impaired that likes them.
I get where they're going with them. I can see the point. The thing is, and you know what? So I'm a software developer, right? And yeah, I work with command lines every day. And the thing is, a lot of people these days kind of don't. A lot of people do. I'm not gonna say that like the software industry's changed and it's all made for kids or something stupid like that. But a lot of people like visual interfaces better, and they like to have a keyboard shortcut, like just a one key they hit to run a thing, to test a thing, to build a thing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they get used to the way that things are laid out, or they adjust the way the different parts of the stuff you need to work with are laid out in their own environment, and they sort of get used to that. And I find that a lot of people then don't quite adjust to maybe working on someone's computer for a minute while they go get a coffee and like, hey, check on this for me. Something like that, because a command line interface has that consistency. And when people don't get used to it or get used to not using that, they lose out on that consistency.
Right.
And yeah, I feel like, and like, I'm not going to say I can, like, I'm going to be the breakthrough teach blind people how to code person, because I'm not. Because when people ask me how I learned to program, I told them I went to college for it, which is true.
Yeah,
I
shocker
mean,
there that people actually get an extra education.
right? Yeah. You pay people money and they teach you things. Yeah, it does kind of work. You know. But yeah, I find that even talking to friends about, hey, how do you do this? How do you set that thing up? I find that blind people are much more comfortable with a command line than a lot of sighted people.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, the experience is going to be a lot more streamlined sometimes, because it's text, right? You're typing text out and you're getting text back, whether that's mostly visually for me with magnification, or through a screen reader, or through a braille display. At the end of the day, it's text, and it's not a complicated interface with 20 different panels for different features, right?
Right.
And yeah, the slash commands are easier for people who don't know the text for them, and they're harder for people who don't want to deal with the visual interface.
Or have
So,
learned the syntax and go to
exactly.
type it in and spend 30 minutes realizing, oh,
It's
they
different
finally
now.
updated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo hiss.
Yeah. But then again,
But
man, nobody likes change, right?
not me. You know me
Or
long
few
enough
people do.
now.
Yeah.
No, boo hiss on the change. Leave it
Yep.
all alone. Let's all
I
grow
get you.
stale and old.
Yeah.
But speaking of change, I will change the subject over to Everyone Games and
Yeah.
tell us what all they have coming up, games and all the nifty little goodies that we have.
Yeah. Man, I'm pumped. I'm excited. Um I really enjoyed last year. Um Wild experience, and I don't know, I think we just might top it. All right. So, you know what? I have notes, right? I brought notes. I'm organized
What are those?
like that. Yeah. I'm
I
organized
mean,
like that. I don't want to
yeah.
forget anything.
But yeah, while you're looking that up, last year
Yeah.
was a ton of fun. And I'm doing my best to rhyme there. Raised a good amount of money, had a lot of fun with meeting new people,
Absolutely.
um, playing a new game. I got to play in Dungeon World, which was a blast with Matt, and
Yeah.
you know I think it's I think it's the first time I actually got to play in a game with Jim. Which was
Right.
oh man, the craziness we could get into. And I've actually finagled myself. I mean, Matt invited me back to this year's game. I finagled my schedule where I have
Hmm.
those few hours free.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah, I owe
That's gonna
favors,
be awesome.
but it'll be all right. It's worth it.
That's gonna be so good. So, okay, here's the deal. Here's my notes. All right. So, Everyone Games is a team that's raising money for okay, sorry, raising awareness for tabletop and video game accessibility, and we're raising money for two amazing charities. So Everyone Can in the UK assist people with disabilities by harnessing the power of assistive technology and providing free assessments to individuals with disabilities to match technology that is either designed or can be adapted to help them achieve everyday tasks. And Stack Up in the US support active and veteran service members from the US and allied nations by promoting positive mental health and suicide prevention through gaming and geek culture. Um, I mean, man, do I have to justify this anymore? Between the stuff we're trying to raise awareness for, and the causes we're trying to raise money for, I think it's a no-brainer, right?
I agree. I mean, the only other
Um,
better charity would be like my own personal wallet, but that's neither here nor there. But the
yeah.
ability to do things physically, as well as like making sure your own mental awareness
Mm-hmm.
and mental health is
Yeah.
while I'm a lot older now than I used to be, it wasn't a thing back whenever I was young. But I think we all had the issue back then. But they just like, nah, you're just a crazy kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They didn't really care about it back then, and I
Yeah.
think the pandemic showed us that it's extremely important.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much. There's many facets to taking care of yourself and to taking care of each other. And that also goes into accessibility
Right.
as well. And I'm very excited about a thing that goes into that. All right, so the meat and potatoes of the thing, right? Okay, um, very cool panels, and I'm looking at the schedule now. And people can find this on the website. That is everyone-games.com. Um, I'm very excited about the panels we have going on. So we're gonna have a workshop on accessible TTRPG documents that's going to be hosted by Todd Crapper, who who works along with Jacob Wood, who we know and love from Accessible Gaming Quarterly.
Yes.
Um,
Well, we
and
like him. You may love him. I like him. He's a
Oh, you
pretty good
just like
guy.
him? Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Well, let's see what he does this year. Maybe you'll upgrade him.
Okay, maybe.
Um, and Jim, our one and only Jim O'Donnell is also going to be involved in that workshop. I think that's going to be great. Between Word, PDF, EPUB, print, there's a lot to talk about. And honestly, I feel like having a 1 hour video on YouTube that we can just send to indie creators is just so cool. I mean,
Yeah.
the live thing is there and it's amazing, but having that as a resource in the future is going to be fantastic.
And
Um,
the thing is too, for having all of that knowledge, right there,
yeah.
that Jim and Todd and Jacob have gathered over their years of making things accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Ton
Yeah.
of knowledge in that video, and it makes you wonder if an hour would actually be enough, but it'd be long enough to get the point across.
Yep. I think so. Yeah. I mean, learning, researching, developing, incredible. But if you can't do the knowledge transfer, it sort of goes away with you in the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to be able to do that. We have a panel on representation in gaming, and that's going to be moderated by Jacob. And the panelists are going to be Eloy Lasanta from Third Eye Games, Alex and Quinn from A Couple of Characters podcast, and our very own, let's say, probably our favorite professional musician, Pepper the Vixen, who
I,
we've
I
had
I
the
can go along with that. Yeah.
yeah we've had the
Uh,
pleasure of listening to on the podcast.
exactly. And Pepper is the creator of the new theme song for Knights of the Braille. So, and it's lovelies.
Ooh. Oh well, now I feel bad that I'm on the podcast instead of just listening to it, because then I could listen to the theme song.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, but it was commissioned, and Pepper did a fantastic job. And I had wrote her and asked her about cutting it into like little segments for the different segments of the podcast, and
Mm-hmm.
without hesitation, Pepper did it. I think Pepper really did it because she didn't want me to screw it up, but I'm gonna go with she did it out of the kindness of her heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll definitely say that was it. um, yeah. We have a panel on gaming and mental health as well. Which we were talking about is, uh, I mean, super important to me. Like I personally put a number of hours of work into making this happen, and I'm really happy to see it happening. And I think we're gonna have some really cool people to to learn some interesting things and talk about things. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be moderated by Danny Marie AUC, who joined Knights of the Braille last year after
E-
you know,
exactly.
with I should say everyone games. So, you know, one of the things that I was really hoping for with the event, which was uh, bringing different groups of people together. Um, yeah, I'm happy that it has happened. It is happening, and you know, I'm hopeful that it'll keep growing like that. Um, the panelists are some amazing people. Uh, Fenway Jones, who's the founder of Jasper's Game Day. I mean, just man, just go look it up. Sean DT Kelly, who is influencer relations manager for Stack Up, one of the two charities we're supporting. Zach Raventos Kenny, who's the Overwatch program manager for Stack Up, is going to be there. So their Overwatch program is their suicide prevention program. Really, I mean,
Uh,
I'm sure he'll put it into better words than I can. Um, but I mean, you you'd expect
well,
so.
yes, they're a lot smarter than we are. You know.
uh, yeah. But it's yeah, it's the work they're doing. Some of the work they're doing more directly in that field, and honestly, I think a lot of communities are gonna have something to learn from input from that experience. And finally, Laura English, who is the community engagement and fundraising officer for Everyone Can, who is uh, the other charity we're supporting. So again, Stack Up in the U.S. and Everyone Can in the U.K. Um, they work on this as well. They bring their own perspective. Um, and like we got to remember that from the whole gaming, you know, video gaming, tabletop, whatever community, and yeah, some of the stuff that sort of came to light with the pandemic. Um, this is a big deal, I think. Gaming communities like this for people coming together around something they love, uh, being together and supporting each other, right?
Right.
Um, man, I think that's just, you know, I'm sure somebody's gonna be saying the same thing about like a book club or something, right? I don't know. You can get that from other places. For me, this is, you know, the right place for that, the right kind of hobby for that, and it's you know, it could be really special and really really important. Um,
You get a sense of community and friendship, you know, around a virtual tabletop.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I really think so. Um, we're also having a panel on accessibility in gaming, video game focused. I'm going to be moderating this one, um, and we're having some awesome people on there as well. Returning from last year, Sightless Combat, gamer without sight, um, who is does streaming and consulting, and just kind of recently, I would say, became Immersive Technologies Research Officer for the RNIB. So that's the UK's NFB, I guess, right?
I don't know. I sounds about right.
Yeah,
You know.
it's the Royal something.
Oh, I thought it was the Redneck National Institute for the Blind. Must be the
Oh,
Royal. Okay,
you know
makes
what?
more
You
sense
might be
now.
right. I think we'll have to ask him,
Yeah, makes more
and we'll
sense though
be
that
sure
it's
to ask him.
Royal.
And also returning, we have Sam Prue from Fable, um, who works in in making the web accessible, right?
Oh, good guy, good guy.
Right. We love him, right? Um, and Andrew Bromelo from who is assistive technology specialist at Everyone Can as well. Um, yeah, because we're trying to go at this in two different directions. Um, how to make games accessible and how to make games accessible. That sounds absurd. Let me rephrase it. How to make games that are accessible and how to make games be accessible. Does that make a little bit more sense?
See, I understood it the first time, then you confused me with the second one. But you know how it's that whole thing. I know what you mean,
Mm-hmm.
but whenever it comes out of the mouth, it like gets all garbled up. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it happens to me like every day. But how to make games accessible and like kind of why to make them accessible.
Yeah, and like so Andrew's experience in in like we talked about Everyone Can's mission and what they do every day, adapting things and making things work, right? Using technology, uh, the right technology the right way for the right person, because we're all different, um, and we all have different needs and we all have different concerns in accessibility, um, but we really there's lots of solutions for things, and
Yeah,
man, being able to reach somebody who can find the thing that works for you, that's just that's just fantastic. And to round things off for this one, we also have Deb Myers, who is an AR/VR software engineer and accessibility expert, um because I hear we're all supposed to get into the metaverse now or something.
is that
uh
like a different kind of world or something?
yeah, I'm being facetious, but
Uh,
yeah, man.
how dare you get me excited? That's it.
Yeah,
Phil's never coming back on the show again.
no, it's over. Very last time. Yeah, like VR is closer and closer to being really mainstream. I mean, it's pretty mainstream. I I'd say there's some affordable VR headsets out there. Um, there's a lot of innovation happening, and a lot of choices and decisions being made now are going to affect the landscape for VR in the future. And people like Deb Myers are working on figuring out how to make the right decisions to make VR and AR and XR, uh, ac- you know, accessible
Accessible. Yeah.
into the future, right? Because we have standards and we have certifications for web accessibility, uh, but when are we getting a certification for VR accessibility, right?
Right.
Um, and yeah, that it takes
It's a thing.
yeah, it takes an investment, right, in people. So
Right.
yeah.
And it's like we were talking earlier before we started recording. Start at the base. It's a
Hmm.
lot easier to work accessibility in then than to try to
Hmm.
go back and put it in after everything's done.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You can't tack it on,
And
right?
see, what I stole that from Phil because I wanted to sound smart too. But it sure it's a lot easier to do it while you're building it than to try to go back and
Hmm.
fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you Man, when you're done building a motorcycle, if you decide it turns out you wanted a car, you're gonna have a bad day.
Yeah, it's really hard to put another set of tires on that motorcycle.
Yeah, you can't just duct tape them to the side. All right,
That's why that
listen.
didn't work.
All right. Leading up to this, this is September 30th and October 1st, 2022. But here's the deal. People are going to want to get involved before the date.
Yes.
There's a couple of reasons for that. One is if you're streaming your tabletop game, your video game, and you want to get involved and you want to help raise awareness with the team and you want to raise money for these incredible charities, we have a guide for that on the website, and throughout the month leading up to the event. And I mean, by all means afterwards, we want to help people join in on this, and we have some resources for that. So definitely check it out and definitely look for these streams. We're encouraging the hashtag #EveryoneGames2022 hashtag to help find this stuff. Now, the other thing is, if you would like to play D&D with celebrities, that's a thing that can happen. If besides playing D&D with celebrities, you want to support incredible charities, you can do that too. In fact, you can do both at the same time because, and again, check the website, but I'm pretty sure you can have these links on the episode notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
For a price.
Of course.
But
We'll
folks,
I'll slide you something under the table once we're done.
folks, we
I'm just
call
getting
that
notes out of the way.
killing two birds with one stone. So, be sure to check that out. Raised
Yeah.
a lot of money, like I said last year, and really, really good time.
So some of the people who are going to be playing, who are already confirmed to be playing, Jennifer Kretschmer, amazing. She was on last year. Producer, advocate, consultant, started the disabled creators in tabletop list. Man, just find her on Twitter. Just incredible. T1J on YouTube. Big name. Ratters, so fun last year. So cool. In one of the games. Blind Temple, who we had last year, and I would personally say is the nicest person on Twitter. I don't know what you think.
I can't say that.
You can't say that?
Temple, no, we don't get along at all. I mean,
no.
he's nice. I'm ornery. This week he'll be my friend. Next week he won't. Oh wait, that's Jesse. Now I like Blind Temple again. We're best friends. But yeah, all jokes aside, I honestly feel I don't know if there's a nicer guy in tabletop gaming than Blind Temple.
Right? Man.
All around just awesome guy.
Man. Honey and Dice. EJ from Non-Compete. Drunken Bard, History Wizard, Vadim, Runaway Robot, who was also amazing last year, Distortion Devil, or Luke Gygax. Hey, Richard, is this name familiar to you at all?
Luke?
Yeah?
Yes, he is.
Probably very familiar, right?
Yeah, very familiar.
I don't know how we got him.
Is it because of me?
I can only assume.
I doubt it. I never get credit for anything unless it messes up.
So man,
now just to get Phil's debit card to bet.
You got to sign up now, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, donate for your chance. Yeah, but seriously, yeah, Luke Gygax from original playtester for D&D, right?
Oh
And
yes.
Gary Kahn, and all around great guy. Like, what else can I say? Will you be there? Will you be at Everyone Games? I'm going to be there.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, if it wasn't for
Uh,
life, I'll be there for the whole dungeon world, and you
oh
know,
man, right?
and while I can't participate in the other stuff, I will be like listening to the streaming whenever data connection allows and
Right.
Wi-Fi connection allows.
I am
But
so looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to you playing and everybody playing that again. Yeah. We're gonna have Pathfinder. So Pathfinder can be made accessible, which is awesome. We have Survival of the Able, which is by its creation by default also
yes,
accessible.
made by Jacob Wood
Mm-hmm.
actually, and I have actually got to play in a game of that. I don't think it was too long after he released it originally. It is a lot of fun. I mean, I actually played somebody who was mute, which was really difficult for me because I mean I like to talk,
Right.
in game and role play, So it was it. A lot of people with disabilities think, oh, I can't see, and it's not that you forget about other disabilities, but you're
Mm-hmm.
more focused on the one that you have.
Yeah.
This give me an appreciation for people who are mute,
Mm-hmm.
because like, oh, but yeah, they could play tabletop games too, So I was having to, while the Richard in me knew what I was trying to convey, it was trying to figure out a way to convey it by somebody who can't talk. So
Right.
it gives you an appreciation for other disabilities that are out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I tell you what, like uh, TTRPGs have this. They give you room to actually experience might be a strong word. Let's call it sample a different life. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Like you can dip your toes into the
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
test. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
I started rolling for my character's gender identity a while back.
Interesting.
Man, awesome. Hey, I play a Lasers and Feelings campaign, and I play an android because I rolled for it pronouns. And I'm like,
Ah.
okay, let me Lasers and Feelings, it's space, whatever. This'll work. It's been great. I mean that's one example, right?
And then you got
That's not
Marla.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And Mutant Year Zero. I play
Yes.
a female character for a while. Man, it's different experience. Like I'm not gonna say that any of that is gonna teach me what it is to um, actually be a different person, but you can never expect that. But opening your mind up.
Yeah, it makes you go
Is,
about things in a different
mm-hmm.
way just
Yeah.
from that, role playing that way. It makes you think, well, how would a female approach this? I know a hard headed guy like myself would just like ram head first into it,
Right.
but woman or female, in my opinion, has more tact, where a guy's just like, just beat it down, knock it down. I mean, at least that's the way it is here, But it gives you an appreciation for the way that other people have to do
Yeah.
things.
And I mean, you can also flip standard roles on their head as well. Man,
Hmm.
if you got a party and a DM who's not, sorry, GM, let me be general here, who's not um close-minded and stuck in their ways, uh you have many opportunities,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Um,
that's why I do the rule of cool. Hey, have fun. That's my number one tabletop
right,
group rule. Have fun.
right. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. You're in it for the fun. If it's not fun, you shouldn't be in it. You got to find out what's wrong, right?
Right.
Yeah. 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 Hey, one more thing.
No.
That's what they do in the fancy presentations, right? When they're announcing a product or something. Hey, one more thing.
No, I
Um,
thought they usually say, if you call in the next 10 minutes, you get this and this free.
oh, okay. Well, if you call in the next 10 minutes, you get to sign up to play a play-by-post game.
Oh,
Uh,
no shipping and handling?
oh no, yeah, you got to pay for those. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
But that's in the fine print and we can't read that, so shh.
Right.
All
Hush,
right.
hush.
Here's the deal. And let me give you the 30-second rundown. What is play by post? I mean, you know, but it's when you play video game at a distance. Video game, man. When you play a TTRPG at a distance.
You know what it is.
When you play a TTRPG at a distance and you do this by text, and you have your situation, your scenario, and you message back your action, and the rest of the party does the same, and then you get told by your GM that you need to roll whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know how the TTRPG works. The gist of it is it happens through text, and it doesn't all have to happen at the same time.
Right. It's a very laid back and relaxed kind of
Absolutely.
TTRPG, and
Exactly.
it's it's mostly for people who like. I know with the everyone games, people who don't want to be on camera or on
Mm-hmm.
audio,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really good for people who, and you know me, I'm not making fun of anybody, but who can't talk like really plain and get embarrassed by it. Now, I know
Yeah.
us here at the Knights of the Braille, we'll take, we don't judge, we don't do any of that, but a lot of people are self conscious of that.
Yeah.
I'm really self conscious of, my redneck accent being really thick. So I talk really slow so that, I'm understandable,
Right.
but people who can't talk too plain or who get concerned about it, they can join in a play by post because anybody can play it, whether you
Exactly.
can see, whether you can't, whether you can talk, whether you can't, anybody can.
Yep. You took the words right out of my mouth. You're a thief. uh,
I do need to
that
play a
was
rogue one day.
that was excellent. You never played a rogue? We got to fix that.
I did for
Um,
like 10 seconds, but that's
10
really about it.
seconds.
Yeah, I got
Ah.
killed.
Wait, I played a rogue with you. I was a rogue and you were a rogue. That
That's
happened once.
right. Yeah, in that arena thing. Like I
Yeah,
said, I died like really quickly
yeah,
every
we got to
time.
make that happen. But yeah, seriously, no, you made all the points I was looking to make. Play by post is phenomenally accessible. Uh, if if you can read text in any fashion, and if you can produce text in any way, you can play it, right?
Yeah.
If you need more time to think about the situation, if you want to analyze things and take your time and you don't want to be put on the spot, um, if you can't find 3 hours, but you can find a bunch of 15-minute periods
Mm-hmm.
during your day, right? Um, man, if the way we play it, through voice chat, if you don't have a quiet place, nobody knows and nobody cares,
Right.
right? It is the most accessible a TTRPG can ever get, I think. I mean,
Th-
you can do other things in person, but remotely, it's uh, the
It,
top of the accessibility pyramid.
yeah.
I think,
It-
and I'm really happy to have this happen. And by its very nature, it's not a thing that can happen on a 3 hour or 1 hour or 3 hour stream. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
But we're going to collect some highlights, some cool moments, um, and talk about them probably on the closing panel. Yeah.
Awesome. You know, and for those that are interested in playing, the play by post, let me give you a life example from me. I did not know that I suffered from, it's not a lot of anxiety, but I did find out that I have some. And the character that I had developed anxiety issues. And you can also work through stuff like that because having him have the anxiety issues allowed me to help me work through mine. So that's
Right.
something else that's very helpful with a TTRPG that's a play by post. And
Mm-hmm.
and as a game master, you can write better descriptions for people that prefer that. Because and Phil, you've been in games with me. Sometimes when you go to describe something, it's like I feel like I'm describing the same thing over and over
Right.
and over. Because you're trying to do it quick because you have like 2 or 3 hours to play in. Whereas a play by post, you can sit there, read your description, go
Fine
over
tune it.
and fine tune it and then post it. But it's such a great opportunity to get into, tabletop gaming that, I definitely suggest anybody that can check it out.
Yep.
I've found a great group that I'm a part of playing the D&D 5e campaign that, it's like, this is not something that I ever thought about, and I just joined it just to see how it is, and sometimes I think it's a lot funner than meeting in group, because you can ignore somebody that you don't like that they post. Oh, I didn't see it. My bad. But it's a great opportunity, and definitely check it out. That's why I need to play a rogue one day.
So this is the game. I didn't even mention what the game is. It's Honey Heist. It's a small TTRPG. It's like 2
Is
or
that
3
the one
pages.
by Grant?
Grant Howitt. Yeah.
Yes. He
It-
does a lot of really good one-page
yes.
RPGs.
Yes. Really great stuff. And this is just has 2 stats, and you just play with a d6. So a regular Monopoly 6-sided die. I mean, D&D is intimidating to say the least. I think
Yes.
this is not. You're looking for a number, and if it's bigger than another number, something good happens. I mean, you can't
Right.
make it much simpler. And I love it. And the things you can still do with that, it's fantastic. Even for the game master, you can roll for the scenario.
He actually wrote Adventure Skeletons, which, the group that I run love to play. I mean, it's so laid back that, if you're nervous about it, you won't be after you get through. You will be laughing, and
Right.
if I remember right with Honey Heist, you get to be a goddamn bear,
Yeah. I'll read you the quote. It's HoneyCon 2017. You are going to undertake the greatest heist the world has ever seen. 2 things. 1, you have a complex plan that requires precise timing. 2, you are a goddamn bear. And Richard, I don't swear on the internet, right?
Exactly.
Well, there you go.
But
they made me do it.
Yeah, they did. Shame on them.
It's worth it.
Now they're getting to be Winnie the Pooh. But Grant writes really, really good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Several of them I've actually gotten, and again want to play them, but yeah, doubtful that I ever will. We got anything else going on, Phil?
Man, I think that's about it. And then on October 2, I'll be sleeping.
No,
But you don't need to be involved in that.
I would rather not be.
And then on
the
October 3,
airfare.
I'll probably still be sleeping. But you also don't need to get involved with that. Don't worry.
No,
But
you need
yeah,
to
I
get
mean,
you
it's
some. Need to get you some iron brew and drink it while you play.
I've had that. It's not
Oh,
bad.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
like it.
Yeah,
Get you some
but
Death Wish coffee to go with it, and you know.
oh man, if I'm lucky, I'll get some fancy specialty coffee and fall asleep while making it.
Ah, yes. But we is there anything else, my dude?
Um, everyone-games.com. If for whatever reason you want to hear from me directly, I'm at Blind Mostly on Twitter and Mostly Blind Gamer on the Discords. Um,
And you can check out Everyone Games at Everyone Games 2, I believe is the
yep, on Twitter, Everyone
yeah.
Games too. Correct.
You know I'm not on Twitter all that much. I hate
Nah, I get you. And other social links are at the bottom of the website. Yeah. Man, I think that's it.
We hope
And
that's it.
I'm pumped. Yeah.
Oh, you got to do it then. I want to pump you up. See you, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh
Bye, everybody.
man, it's awesome as always.
This episode is brought to you by the Knights of the Braille and is made possible through the support of viewers such as you. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to get all of the latest information and episodes. Thank you.
Welcome everyone to this exclusive one-shot, The Dungeon Daddy's Disciple.
Kicking off the Dice Head Revolution, T and Cleves of the Seesaw Podcast.
Chad Michael Boughton of Hindsight is 20/200.
And your DM Richard from Knights of the Braille.
Over the course of the series, join Brago, MP, and Grog as they find themselves in an eerie seaside town with no way to get home.
Do they have the strength to overcome the trials that the Dungeon Daddy has in store? Let the dice decide.